Back here, first things first. Undisputed is coming up at 9:30 sharp. Jenny Taft, good morning to you. What are you and the guys talking about today?
Morning, Jenna. And I also wanted to say, Chris, it was so cool to see you on the call yesterday. I'm sorry you're still stuck in Miami. So coming up on Undisputed, is it already panic time for the Cowboys? After they scored 8 points yesterday, and did Aaron Rodgers prove that he is the best quarterback in the NFL last night? Plus, Michael Vick and Rod Woodson are in studio with us. Undisputed is next. Jenna, back to you.
All right, Jenny, we look forward to that. Thank you. We are going viral here. Saquon Barkley had the highlight of the game for the Giants with his 68-yard touchdown run, but the real play of the game might have come in the parking lot. Check out this fan showing off little tailgate dance move action.
What is he doing? Man, here's... he's going to do the worm.
Here we go. That's unsanitary.
Man, we have a few surefire ways to get on this television show.
Apparently,
one is to be a little tiny 6 or 7 year old, make a great play in a football game. The other is to be a big man, no shirt dancing. We like ourselves the fat man dancing videos. Go get it.
It just
go get it.
bothers me to the core.
Why, Jenna?
The exposed skin on the pavement.
Oh, that's not what he's worried about. Come on. That's not what he's worried about. Let the man have some fun. That's great. That's great. What game was that? That was the Giants
game?
It's right here in the Meadowlands.
Yeah, there it goes. Those are our people, Nick.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys.
You make it hard for us with y'all two because neither one of y'all are funny. You need funny in the studio. If you're going to do funny, you need me there.
We miss you. Well,
y'all
you're in
it.
Go. Tell us.
Keep it going.
We miss you, Steve.
Clearly.
We'll see you here tomorrow.
All right, here we go. Packers-Bears. Oh, what a game. Early scare for Aaron Rodgers as he had to be carted off the field in the second quarter with a leg injury. He came back with his team down 20 points and did what Aaron does best. He lit it up. He threw 3 second-half touchdown passes, including the game winner to Randall Cobb with just over 2 minutes left in the game, all while still hobbled with that injured leg. Aaron Rodgers talking about his epic performance after the big win over the Bears.
This is what we're paid to do. You know, we're paid to deal with injuries and play through them. That's what everybody's doing and will be doing throughout this season. That's the measure of a teammate, is what are you willing to put on the line for your team. And to me, it's a no-brainer. Being out there is special. The ovation from the crowd lifts you up, gives you the energy, the momentum of the game, and you feel the tide turning is special. This is definitely go down as one of my favorite memories. Playing behind Brett Favre for 3 years, you realize you gotta be tough to play this position. So you gotta, in that situation, it's about coming back out and leading, and if you can do it and deal with the pain, you should be out there.
Nick, this is the way they write movie scripts, make him down 20. Make him hurt his leg. Let him come back against their arch rivals. I mean, wouldn't that be great? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Aaron Rodgers did. How remarkable was his performance and gutsy last night?
Remarkable is the right word, because it absolutely was remarkable. But because it's Aaron Rodgers, it wasn't unbelievable. He now, in the last 4 years in the whole league, there's 4 20-point second-half comebacks. He's had 2 of them. But, the Green Bay Packers, Steve's been saying all year, it's the 99th season of the NFL. Well, it's the 100th season for the Green Bay Packers. They got started a year early, evidently. They were 0-107 when down 17 points going into a fourth quarter of a game. 0-107 in their 100 years. And the moment Rodgers hit Geronimo Allison in the back corner, I thought they were going to win. Now, that only put them down. It's not like that won the game. They were still down 10 points. But the moment that happened, I said, if the defense can get enough stops, they will win this game. It was an all-time performance by an all-time player, and he did it on one leg. In that he wasn't, by the way, before he got hurt, he wasn't effective. Khalil Mack was wrecking this game for everybody, and the Bears front, Roquan Smith as well, were wrecking this game before he got in there, and then once DeShone Kizer went in there. But once he took over in the third quarter, down 20-0, he was 17 of 23 for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns. They went field goal, touchdown, 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 knees. Like the knees because they had won the game. He made the most of his limited opportunities with the ball. The defense held up well, and they stole a game from Chicago that, aside from Brady, there's not another quarterback in the league that I think in that situation I would have been confident can go do that. And he did it. See, he did it while injured. And I thought the allusion to Favre in the press conference was really interesting.
Yeah, the thing, what he learned from Brett was awesome. A slight disagreement. I don't think there's anyone in the league that's coming back. There's not an athlete, not Cam Newton, because he can't throw the ball if he's got one leg. Cam's got a big arm, but he throws the ball with his lower half and gets that torque. Tom Brady's not going to be back in that game. There's no quarterback that's going to take the punishment that they were taking the first half and decide at halftime, man, one of my assets, my wheels, I can't get out of the pocket, and I'm going to still play. So, no, Aaron Rodgers, if this was an unbelievable moment and Aaron Rodgers is the unbelievable player, why would we think someone else can do it? No. He's a special player. Last night was a special moment, even more special because we've seen some of these big throws, Hail Marys, but what's the difference? They've been on the road. What he did to Seattle, that was on the road. What he did to in Detroit, that was on the road. Man, doing this in Lambeau Field, they've been playing football 100 years. And for this to be the best, the biggest comeback in fourth quarter history, man, it was a tremendous game. It was unbelievable. He's a credit to his profession. He's a credit to anyone out there who thinks they're tough. Watch what he did last night. Man, in leadership, leadership is about not how you feel. Because being great is not, you can't play great only when you feel good. You got to be able to play great sometimes when you don't feel good. And his play elevated that football team, and that's why they were able to get this win. When we get to week 17, I want you guys to point out the week number 1. And we're going to look back at this when the Packers are trying to get into the playoffs or maybe get home field advantage. And this will be a huge win, not only just a win in the win total, but a win in their division, a win against an NFC team. And, man, the Bears are going to be around. I like what they did offensively, even though they couldn't win this game at the end with their young players. I thought what they did with their young quarterback was creative. And I believe that the Bears are going to be a team set for one of those. Nick, we talked about last week which 4 teams are going to make that big turnaround. The Bears are going to be in that team in part of those conversations.
See, we've talked in the past about the lack of guaranteed contracts in the NFL, and if there is a benefit from it, obviously not for the players, but for the fan, as far as it makes guys push through injury, it makes guys less complacent. Aaron Rodgers this offseason, as you mentioned, I think it's a great observation. This offseason, he signed for more guaranteed dollars than any football player ever has. Mm-hmm. And he's coming off a year. And also, Nick,
he talked about NFL players needing more guarantees. Yep. So Aaron Rodgers needed to get that $98 million guaranteed. It was not for his ability, but for the other players in the Players Association, which you and I have talked about. Khalil Mack needed to hold out for the Raiders to do what he did. Aaron Donald needed to do what he did. What Aaron did, though, I believe is going to help change kind of the paradigm that's in pro football as far as the guarantees. It's a great point, and it's why the tide raises all boats for player salaries. But for Rodgers, last year's ruined due to injury. This year, by the time the Packers get the ball back in the second half, they're down 20 points. The Bears' pass rush looks dominant. Khalil Mack looks like a superhero. It would not be unreasonable to think Rodgers say, you know what, even if I play well, this game's probably lost. I just signed this guaranteed money deal. I don't want another year lost to injury because I can't be mobile and he falls on me. The Anthony Barr situation happens again. For him, after signing that deal, to put himself back out there when he's not 100%, where he can't move around, and to do what he did, I think that speaks even more to who that player is. I mean, it speaks to who he is, the Brett Favre, the overall toughness. Quarterbacks have to learn this because quarterbacks typically, they are not the toughest. They are right under the kickers as far as the toughest guys. And the rules indicate that. And you hit a guy, if you want to get the pulse of a football team, you knock his quarterback down. And you keep knocking him down or you knock him into the locker room, which Chris Canty talked about what he thought the Bears should have had a little more pressure in the second half. But him being able to do this hurt. And then he crystallized everything for me at the end of the press conference. You playing next week against the Vikings? I will be there after being knocked out of last season by the Minnesota Vikings. So great message by Aaron Rodgers.
And quickly, we should mention the Chicago Bears did have one shining spot, and that would be Khalil Mack, who came out with unlimited preseason time playing, limited practice with this team, not knowing the entire playbook and whatnot, and really had a dominant first half.
See, Khalil he's why you don't trade a player of that caliber. And you thought real quick, you thought in the celebration he wasn't the same after that, after the touchdown.
Oh, I know so. Anytime you make a long run like that, especially early in the season, you're going to have a tremendous amount of lactic acid that's going to be built up. And guys are so excited. They're just in the emotion of it. When everyone jumps on you, man, you got 5 or 6 guys, 253, some 300-pounders on you, and then you go back to the sideline. There's still a football game to be played. And when you watch the video, you can see that took all the steam out of him.
All right, we got to go. Have a great day, everyone. Undisputed starts right now.